Leave you tonight, I want to give you some words of wisdom. In this world, there will be people who are always going to tell you who to be, who not to be, what to wear, what not to wear, who to like, who not to like, what to say, and what not to say. There is only one person in this world that you need to listen to. And Sarah Adishaw told us who that is. You have to have perfect confidence in yourself. Thank you. When the world shows you roadblocks and tells you no, I hope you choose to be bold. And when the world shows you fear and uncertainty, I hope you choose to be brave. And when the world shows you hate and cruelty, I hope you choose to be kind.
When I shared those words with our collegiate leaders at CLC 2018, I had no idea what they would come to mean just 2 years later, or how they would come to define my term as Tri Delta's fraternity president. The world has shown us a lot over the past few weeks and months, and while there is so much uncertainty and even unrest in the world, there is one thing I'm certain of. Tri Delta will survive and thrive. In the spirit of our founders, in accordance with our purpose, and because of you. Tri Delta is because of you. As an assembly of more than 240,000 women, Tri Delta is a place where you can be yourself and belong to something much bigger. Our members are brave, bold, and kind. We are passionate about serving others and committed to becoming the best versions of ourselves in the process. And we are dedicated as women and sisters to steadfastly love one another and to helping each other live, learn, and lead for a lifetime. And perhaps even more importantly, in these challenging times, we are a society that was founded to be kind alike to all. As you look back on Tri Delta's history, kindness has played out in many, many ways. From the establishment of the first non-discrimination policy among member organizations of the National PANHELLENIC Conference, to our 2018 commitment to live kind and lead kind. As an organization open to all who live and identify as women without regard to ethnic heritage, national origin, personal appearance, personal beliefs, race, religion, sexual orientation, mental or physical ability. As an organization rooted in kindness, Tri Delta's commitment to diversity and inclusion has been long-standing. Over the past several weeks, Tri Delta's Executive Board has taken the time to listen and learn about the complex issues surrounding racism in society at large, in higher education, and within our own organization. We've learned a lot, including that we have a lot to learn. And in tomorrow's business meeting at Focus 2020, Tri Delta's first ever virtual convention, we'll consider ways in which we can build on our commitment to kindness and inclusion. First, we will consider the Lead Now resolution affirming Tri Delta's commitment to creating an equitable and inclusive lifetime membership experience for all of our members, and most notably our Black, Indigenous, and Sisters of Color. We will also consider the opportunity to expand Tri Delta's Executive Board from a fraternity president and 4 directors to a fraternity president and up to 6 directors. This expansion of the Executive Board acknowledges the increased workload of our governing board as our organization has grown over time. It also considers recommendations put forth by our Streamlined Governance Committee and our Leadership Development Committee. But perhaps more importantly, it acknowledges that Tri Delta's Executive Board is missing the valuable perspectives, insights, and lived experience of Black, Indigenous, and Sisters of Color. In fact, we're missing this at all levels of our organization, making it that much more important to prioritize it at the Executive Board level. In addition, This is the acknowledgement that Tri Delta's long-standing commitment to diversity and inclusion has not come far enough or fast enough. As recent events have shown us, and our sisters of color have shared, we must be intentional about ensuring diverse, inclusive, and equitable representation across Tri Delta. So, as we enact legislation to expand the Executive Board, we'll be doing so with the goal of filling the 2 new seats with Black, Indigenous, and Sisters of Color. These seats will be filled according to our bylaws and through the thoughtful, documented process of Tri Delta's Leadership Development Committee, the LDC. The LDC will move quickly to identify, interview, and nominate women for these roles, and they will be elected by the Executive Board as outlined in our bylaws. The new 7-member Executive Board will begin its biennium of service on August 1st, 2020. This is the important first step of many that are outlined in our Lead Now action plan, designed to create meaningful and lasting change in Tri Delta by identifying and dismantling systemic racism within our organization, promoting education, understanding, and healing among our members, and fighting for equality and justice for all. As you might have guessed, the Lead Now plan is built on 3 pillars. Brave, activities designed to identify and dismantle systemic racism. Bold, programs and efforts to promote education, understanding, and healing among our sisters. Kind, tools and resources to equip our members in the fight against the bigotry, bias, violence, and hate that fuel discrimination and racism, and the fight for equality and justice. I hope you will take some time to review the Lead Now plan on our website and to learn more about the complex issues surrounding discrimination and racism through the resources we provided online. As always, we welcome your questions and especially your feedback. We've set up a new email for this, inclusion@trideltaeo.org. I want you to know that this is a journey and we are on it together. The beauty of Tri Delta lies in the individuality of our members, our different personalities and perspectives. And the power of Tri Delta lies in our collective strength. Sarah Ida Shaw writes about this in our ritual. She says, "It is only when one feels the influence of other personalities that there comes a realization of individual responsibility, a realization of the power of one life upon another." Sister Deltas, like so many other organizations and businesses, Tri Delta has a moment in time to be brave and bold, and to lead now with kindness and steadfast love. I am proud to be on this journey with each of you. As the 2018-2020 biennium come to a close, it's my great honor to share some of our organization's key accomplishments driven by the work of our tireless volunteers and our talented staff across the Tri Delta enterprise. This work will be outlined in detail in the biannual State of the Fraternity report that will be distributed in August. Until then, I'd like to thank Tri Delta's standing committees. The Bylaws Committee, chaired by Deborah Johnson. Their work in the form of 67 proposed amendments to the fraternity bylaws will be on display for all who attend convention tomorrow. The Extension Committee, co-chaired by the Executive Board and including Chief PANHELLENIC Officer Sarah Coons-Lindsay. This group, along with our emerging chapter volunteers and staff, is responsible for helping to establish our new chapters at Tulane University and Sacred Heart University. The Fraternity Membership Status Committee, chaired by Melissa Booth Hall. The FMSC is responsible for reviewing, deliberating, and deciding on matters of individual member discipline across all of Tri Delta's collegiate and alumni chapters. The Leadership Development Committee, chaired by Linda Wolf McClendon. The LDC is responsible for identifying, cultivating, and slating Tri Delta's boards and their own committee successors. And the Ritual Committee, chaired by Carolyn Stayer. This committee kicked into overdrive this biennium, reinventing Tri Delta's ritual to be celebrated virtually in the wake of COVID-19, and also developing several new milestone ceremonies and a new piece of jewelry too, a beautiful new charm to commemorate Circle Degree. Tri Deltas love jewelry. I'd also like to acknowledge our non-standing committees and task forces appointed by the Executive Board to help focus on our board priorities. These included the Alumni Expansion Committee, chaired by Heather Smart Evans, and the 2 task forces that were part of this committee charged with exploring alternative entry points for membership. The Community Colleges Task Force, chaired by Melissa Muller, and the Alumni Initiation Task Force, chaired by Kim Littlefield Dowd. The Streamlined Governance Committee, chaired by Kate Davis-Shasha, charged with reviewing current processes and practices to ensure efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence across the enterprise. And the Extension Strategy Committee, chaired by Adrienne Meyer-Bohannon, charged with developing a methodology for evaluating and prioritizing Tri Delta's traditional growth opportunities. Reports from each of the 2018-2020 fraternity committees will be included in the State of the Fraternity Report. I'd like to personally thank these committee chairs and members for their thorough and thoughtful work on behalf of the Executive Board and in the service to our sisterhood. Tri Delta's housing and philanthropic entities were also hard at work this biennium. The National House Corporation took on increased responsibility and a new brand identity as Tri Delta Housing. With a renewed commitment to Tri Delta's local house corporations, Tri Delta Housing created a new national volunteer structure to enhance resources and amplify support for our local volunteers. In addition, the employment of our more than 300 housing employees was centralized at the national level through Park Street Properties, offering increased training and development for our on-site facility employees and ensuring a consistent, premier living and learning experience for our collegiate members. And finally, 20 facilities came under the ownership umbrella of Tri Delta Housing over the past 4 years, allowing our chapters to leverage the considerable experience and expertise of the Tri Delta Housing staff. All of this happened under the leadership of my fellow board chair, Judy Barth. Love you, Judy. I'm also very pleased to share highlights from Tri Delta's Foundation. Tri Delta's Foundation invests in women. It is the only organization that connects our more than 240,000 members with ways to empower collegiate and alumni women through transformational programs, scholarships, and emergency financial support. Tri Delta's Foundation is truly sisters helping sisters. We are grateful for all of the members who donate to Tri Delta's Foundation. This biennium, through the generosity of more than 4,000 member donors, more than 800,000 in need and merit-based scholarships were awarded to 334 undergraduate and graduate members. $1.1 million was granted to the fraternity for transformational programming. Nearly $800,000 was granted to fund capital improvements to our chapter facilities, and more than $250,000 was granted in emergency financial assistance to 156 collegiate and alumni members. Sister Deltas, that's nearly $3 million worth of impact. That is truly remarkable. One of the Foundation's biggest successes came last November on World Kindness Day, when our sisters came out in full force to support Tri Delta's first ever Day of Giving. As you can see, the results were impressive. In a single day, Tri Delta's Foundation raised more than $60,000 from 790 donors, representing 145 chapters and including nearly 200 first-time donors. Special thanks to our Day of Giving ambassadors for making the day so successful. I want you to all mark your calendars right now for November 13th, 2020, when we will once again celebrate World Kindness Day with our second annual Tri Delta Day of Giving. One of our sisterhood's proudest moments this year was facilitated by Tri Delta's Foundation. As COVID-19 became a reality in North America this spring and campuses began to shut down, we became aware that for some of our collegiate members, traveling to their permanent homes with little to no advance notice presented a true hardship. TRIDELTA's foundation responded quickly, creating the Collegiate Crescent Fund Emergency Travel Grant and expedited the application process. The foundation provided 90 grants to Sisters in Need, totaling more than $29,000. In addition, the foundation has helped both collegiate and alumni members who have been financially impacted by COVID-19, providing 25 grants totaling more than $35,000. This kind of assistance, when it's needed most, means the world to our sisters. Here's what they told us. On behalf of the sisters you've helped and our sisterhood at large, I want to thank our donors, the Foundation Board of Trustees, and the Foundation staff for investing in TRIDELTA's members in the many important ways you do. And I want to personally thank my fellow chair, Tori Campbell, for her dedicated leadership. Thank you, Tori. Speaking of important, TRIDELTA's commitment to childhood cancer is close to the top of the list of life priorities for our members. 2019 marked the 20th anniversary of our national partnership with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. To date, we've raised more than $74 million in support of the children and families of St. Jude, including more than $48 million toward our $60 million goal. This is especially impressive since we are only 6 years into our 10-year goal. In addition, the philanthropy of TRIDELTA chapters and the members continues to have a significant impact at the local and regional levels. Southern California's support of Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, Fort Worth's support of Cook Children's Hospital, Atlanta's support of Cure, Indiana's support of Riley Children's Hospital, Denver's support of Denver Children's Hospital, and Dallas's support of Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children. TRIDELTA's alumni chapters are actively engaged in the fight to change the way the world treats and defeats childhood cancer. Our work in the area of philanthropy is truly unparalleled and a point of distinction and pride for our members. Our members are at the center of everything we do in TRIDELTA. Our purpose calls us to help our member live, learn, and lead by providing them with lifelong opportunities to become the very best versions of themselves. Accomplishing this as a social fraternity during an extended time of social distancing has required quite a bit of creativity and some quick thinking. Luckily, we were able to build on a solid foundation of leadership and educational programming for both our collegiate and alumni chapters, and both new and enhanced technology designed to help members get and stay engaged and connected with TRIDELTA. And because COVID-19 has continued to surge, causing colleges and universities to modify their plans for fall 2020, I'm pleased to share that this fall, all of TRIDELTA's collegiate programs will be available online. From our new member education and first-year experience programs to our Body Image 3D program, our Behind Happy Faces mental health program, our sexual assault awareness and bystander education programs, Not Anymore, and Clarifying Consent, and our new Life After College series in partnership with AAUW. We are prepared to meet our collegiate members where they are, with the learning and development opportunities that distinguish Tri Delta. We are also looking forward to adding new programming on diversity, equity, and inclusion, in conjunction with our Lead Now efforts. You might be wondering how Tri Delta will be able to offer such a rich and robust virtual experience for our members. We've spent the last 2 years researching and developing a new technology platform for online learning for collegians and alumni alike. With grant funding from Tri Delta's Foundation and a very special gift from the Mildred Miller Charitable Fund, I am pleased to announce the launch of Leader.org, Tri Delta's new online learning and development platform. Leader.org is the online learning complement to Tri Delta's signature LEAD events, offering exclusive personal and professional development opportunities for women. Including today's event, Tri Delta has hosted 4 LEAD events over the last 2 years. Leader.org will offer role-specific training for Tri Delta's collegiate chapter officers and volunteers, as well as competency-based skills training and exclusive leadership development content for all members. Online, on-demand, self-paced learning and development delivered just in time for these challenging times. Here's a sneak peek.
We are excited to launch Leader.org, now available to all dues-paying members. With a focus on enriching the lifetime experience of our members, Tri Delta has introduced Leader.org, an easy-to-use online platform that offers dynamic learning and development opportunities, including on-demand self-paced training for collegiate chapter officers and volunteers, and exclusive personal and professional leadership content for all members. With the help of Tri Delta avatars, you will be guided through your online learning experience. Leader.org is designed to be with you where you need it, on your home computer or on your tablet or phone on the go. We are excited for you to join Tri Delta in learning with purpose today and throughout the next biennium as we continue to add exclusive content. Our first premier course kicks off with our lead online keynote speaker, Amy K. Hutchins, helping us all become master communicators with Get It. Her course, designed exclusively for Tri Delta, is available now. With funding from Tri Delta's Foundation and a special grant from the Mildred Miller Charitable Fund, Leader.org encourages Tri Delta members to invest in themselves and empowers them to better their best.
Leader.org has already gone live and is available to all dues-paying members of Tri Delta, including life-loyal Tri Deltas. And as you saw, today's lead keynote speaker, Amy K. Hutchins, is offering our first custom course designed exclusively for Tri Delta. And it's free. Simply log into Leader.org using your My Tri Delta username and password and start learning. Or in the words of Mildred Miller, better your best. For those of you who didn't have the pleasure of knowing our sister Millie, she was initiated at the University of Maryland in 1938 and left this earth just a few days shy of her 102nd birthday. As she made her final estate plans, Millie was kind enough to include a generous bequest to Tri Delta's Foundation. We are grateful to Millie for leaving such a rich and rewarding legacy to all of Tri Delta. And you know, I can't resist the opportunity to ask all of you to follow in Millie's footsteps by planning your own gift to Tri Delta as a member of Tri Delta's Heritage Society. Email foundation@trideltaeo.org for more information. Another advancement on the technology front was the introduction of Tri Delta's first ever app, CONNECTDDD. Launched at VLC 2019 with a generous grant from Tri Delta's Foundation, this online networking platform is home to more than 3,500 Tri Deltas who are engaged in nearly 40 different virtual discussion groups, book clubs, hobby and interest groups, and much, much more. In addition, there are more than 2,500 CONNECTDDD users willing to offer mentorship and/or career support, including informational interviews to Tri Delta members. The newest feature on CONNECTDDD is Tri Delta's Business Directory. Download the app, log in, and in the words of my daughter, check it out. Connected is the exact word I'd use to describe our 2020 Women of Achievement. Nominated by their sisters, families, and friends, these amazing accomplished women exemplify Tri Delta's values and what it means to be brave, bold, and kind. It's my distinct honor to introduce them to you today.
The Women of Achievement Award recognizes Tri Deltas who have demonstrated extraordinary achievement and leadership in their volunteer, philanthropic, civic, or professional pursuits. Congratulations to the 2020 Women of Achievement recipients. Patty Wetterling, Minnesota State, Mankato, co-founder of the Jacob Wetterling Resource Center. Patty Wetterling is a speaker and educator on the issues of child abduction and sexual exploitation. After her 11-year-old son, Jacob, was abducted in 1990, she and her husband co-founded the Jacob Wetterling Resource Center. Patty continues to fight for a world where children can grow up safe and follow their dreams, serving on the board of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Beatty Kanahele Dawson, Whitman, attorney and community leader. Beatty Kanahele Dawson is a native Hawaiian attorney, leader, and warrior for the Hawaiian people. She has spent a lifetime working with her community at all levels and has fought tirelessly to take on injustices against her people. Beatty is committed to ensuring that Native Hawaiians and future generations are rightfully recognized in Hawaii, their homeland, and throughout the world. Carrie Broussard, North Carolina, CEO of Broussard Global Communications. A longtime advocate for women, Carrie Broussard speaks to audiences about how to successfully navigate issues of integrity, personal, and professional development. In her book, From Cinderella to CEO, she melds the business parables and wisdom found in fairy tales with modern-day, purpose-driven leadership concepts. In 2019, she launched the Cinderella to CEO Award Show, honoring accomplished women and recognizing today's transformational Cinderella to CEO stories. Tri Delta is grateful for these three brave, bold, and kind women whose unselfish leadership embodies the values of our sisterhood. Congratulations to this year's winners.
I hope you will join me in congratulating these deserving sisters on this honor and in thanking the Women of Achievement Selection Committee, chaired by Chris Gravith-Hyde. There were so many other accomplishments and firsts this year. We finalized our collegiate chapter officer structure pilot and will begin implementing the new structure this fall. We further empowered our volunteers through onboarding and supplemental training. We provided additional support for our collegiate chapters through our target and emerging chapter efforts led by amazing volunteers. We launched our first podcast, Let's Talk Tri Delta. Just this week, we surpassed 10,000 downloads and dropped our 50th episode. We created brand new 3 for You content with help from Tri Delta member experts to help sisters everywhere navigate the challenges of COVID-19. We launched the Walking with Purpose program with our friends at Herff Jones. Over 1,000 Tri Deltas have logged more than 70,000 miles toward our organization goal of 132,000 miles by Founders Day. And it's not too late to join us. Sign up at www.tridelta.org/walkingwithpurpose. And last but not least, we created the Summer of Sisterhood, packed full of fun events. From virtual reunions and sing-alongs to Focus 2020, our first ever virtual convention and virtual milestone celebration, there's truly something for every Tri Delta during our Summer of Sisterhood. Take a look. Sister Deltas, it's been quite a biennium, and for me, a lifelong Tri Delta volunteer, it's been an amazing 6 years. First, for 2 years as a director of Tri Delta's executive board, and then for the last 4 years as your fraternity president. It has been one of my greatest honors of my life to serve our sisterhood. And while it's hard to say goodbye, especially in the wake of all of the challenges that lie ahead, I do so with perfect confidence in each of you to continue to love and cherish our sisterhood and to spread her influence abroad in new and exciting ways. So I leave you today with one of the first things we are told as members of Tri Delta. The wearing of this badge does not give you the right to feel in any way superior, but it does give others the right to expect great things of you. Tri Delta, I expect great things of you, and I know you can live up to and exceed these expectations the world has for us. And I will be in the front row cheering you on as your greatest fan. Thank you again for the wonderful opportunity to serve you as your fraternity president. Delta love and all of mine.